Grumble, grumble.
Hey everyone, it's the Grumpy Meeple, and I am coming at you with my first gameplay series of Marvel United X-Men. Very exciting. Mostly because of my deep and abiding love for the X-Men, which goes back many decades. So you can see I've got it set up for a 3-player game. I'll be playing solo. I've got my plastic tokens, my beautiful boards with their little location effect kind of sub boards, which hold the cards up just nice, the threat cards or what have you. Got my master plan deck. Gonna shuffle that up. You will notice one thing I don't have is my playmat. And that is because I found the playmat to be obnoxiously huge and spread out to the point of like utter uselessness. So that's going bye-bye. Especially for me, because I'm so blind, it's of no value to me. I really don't know what, unless they were thinking that like 32 people were going to play this game at the same time. As you can see, I have an extremely condensed layout, and if I were going to make a playmat, I would have made it square, and I would have made it look exactly like this, basically. But I think they were really wanting the visual flair of this kind of circular, play wheel, but not at the expense of being able to play the game on a normal table. And then I've decided to choose the Beast, Cyclops, and Wolverine. And I even made up a little story in my head. So Sabertooth is hanging out on Asteroid M. He's been toying with joining the Acolytes. Fabian Cortez is like, I don't know. My name has the word Cortez in it and Cortex, and you're not really much of a brain. But while he was loitering about, he remembered that it was Wolverine's birthday, and Sabretooth has a time-honored tradition of torturing Wolverine on his birthday. And so he's decided that, hurting Wolverine is kind of counterproductive because Wolverine heals. So he's going to try and kill Beast instead. as a thank you, or as a kind of birthday blessing. Murder your best friend. I've got my hands drawn already. You start with 3 cards in your hand. We're playing with this is all base components with the exception of all the bling and the fact that it's all sleeved and stuff, which I think it's a really visually compelling package once you bling it up. Much less so if you just have the base components, but with the bling, this is a nice looking game, and it feels really nice. I haven't played it yet, but even just from like doing the setup where I placed out the starting civilians and stuff, it just, like the boards and the counters, they just feel really, really nice together. So let's check the rules. We got to make sure we got everything set up correctly here. Place the mission guide. This is the mission guide. Standard 3 missions in any order. Rescue civilians, defeat thugs, clear threats. Choose a villain to face and place its villain dashboard at the top. We recommend start with Sabertooth, which we have. Sabertooth starts with 7 health with 3 heroes. So I've got those lined out. They give you a little space to stack these health tokens. I always found that to be a little too finicky, so I just throw them on there if I can. Villain dashboard has a track. Place the villain tracker on it. He definitely doesn't have a track. Randomly pick 6 locations. I've done that. And then you populate them with the starting pieces. So that's what they colored in, if you can see that. It means that they start with those pieces. Once After that, though, after setup, the coloring doesn't mean anything, and you can place any piece there. Shuffle the villain threat cards and place one face up on the slot at the bottom of each token, or each location. So I've done that, and let's see what we've got here. So on the X-Jet, we've got no place to hide. If the hunted hero ends their turn in this location, they take 1 damage. So I don't want the beast going to that spot. Which is the same thing for the Hangar Bay, which is fun, like weirdly, like there's like a weird synergy there. It's like maybe Sabertooth has staked out the hangar, which also applies to the X-Jet. And you've got the same thing on Geonosia. For the Sentinel Space Station and for the Weapon X facility and Killing Sprees, he's got discard all civilians from this location, deal damage to 1 hero in both adjacent locations. And with the way that these are spread out, that actually is really interesting. It kind of limits. Beast is going to be in some trouble, I feel like, no matter where he is. So the way that the game is played is you pull a villain card, a master plan card to start the game, and then the heroes each get to take a turn. And a turn consists of drawing a card and then playing a card and resolving the actions. But you don't just resolve your card. You resolve your card and the card that came before it. You can only resolve the bottom of such a card. So for instance, Beast can't share his regenerating factor with Cyclops. That makes no sense. But he can share his movement and his special, his heroic action with him. And so and we might as well get started, to be honest. So we'll put out Sabertooth's card. All right, Sabertooth has Hunter Senses. Move to the location with the hunted hero. He moves here, and then he triggers a BAM. His BAM is deal 2 damage to 1 hero in Sabertooth's location. This must be the hunted hero if they are in that location. Okay, so he deals 2 damage to Beast already. Now that means Beast has to take 2 of these cards and put them at the bottom of his deck. So I definitely am going to keep Regenerative Factor because that's the only card I have that could possibly get him out of this issue, basically. There are no BAMs anywhere else on the cards here, so let's see. Yeah, so then what you do is you trigger. Yeah, you trigger all of the. I need to look this up real quick, actually. Yeah, there's a threat card with the arrow symbol in the location where their villain ends their movement. Immediately resolve the effect described on that threat card. So this threat card triggers because Sabertooth moved there and it has this matching symbol on it. It says discard all civilians from this location, deal 1 damage to 1 hero in both adjacent locations. So that actually works out because there are no heroes in adjacent locations and there are no civilians there. So nothing happens. And then you populate civilians or villains as the card tells you. So it's telling me I need to put 2 here and 2 here, which means I need to get to work because if I just leave those sit and he overflows them, his overflow says if 1 or more tokens can't be added to a location, deal 1 damage to the hunted hero, which will kill the beast. So that's it for Sabertooth's turn, and that gets the game kicked off. One note is I have gone through and set the game up for the kind of slightly harder mode. Let's see here. Yeah, it tells you right here, challenges. So moderate challenge, each hero removes 1 single special or wild card from their hero deck This is recommended as soon as the players get familiar with the base game. I figured I'm close enough, so I should be good. Add one master plan next sword card, resolve effects, BAMs, special effect, add indicated. Yeah, so now it's a hero turn. First thing that happens is Beast draws a card. He's the first player, so he gets to go first. Ooh, and it's another regenerating factor. Very nice. Now he plays a card. So, let's see. He's got a movement on both cards, so he can choose whichever one of those he wants. And then he's got a heroic action, and he's got punches. We cannot do any damage to Sabertooth at the moment. We won't be able to until we clear both of these these, whatever they're called. Hold on one second. I should start using the names for these things. That'd probably be helpful for people trying to learn. Mission cards. Yeah, they're called mission cards. Of course they're called mission cards. I mean, I know that they're called mission cards, right? And so I can't hurt Sabertooth, so there's no point in trying. But what I can do is I basically get to have a choice. I can play this card down and take out a henchman, or I can take out I can use a special action to take out either to rescue a civilian or to start filling up the special bar here. And once this is full, these threat cards go away, and you get the location benefit. At the end of turn, you get to rescue a civilian from this location. So there's a reason to clear those out, even if it doesn't directly do damage to Sabertooth. Okay. There's a lot of villains out right now, henchmen, and so I'm gonna play the henchman card. So, regenerating factor, you may draw cards until you have 3 in your hand. So that kind of heals him up from the damage that he just took from the beast known as Sabertooth. And then he gets a movement and a punch. So he's going to move here, and he's going to use a punch, and then it goes on to this board here. Now it's Cyclops' turn. Cyclops has 2 special, which is nice. He could almost clear a whole card by himself. 2 punch, which is really nice, and then leadership. Give 1 wild token from the pool to another hero. Now, see, this is where it gets interesting, because Cyclops has 2 punch, but he doesn't have any movement on, like, this card, for example. So he'd be stuck here, and he wouldn't be able to maximize his turn, except that Beast played this card before, and Cyclops gets the benefit of the card played before him. So I'm going to play this 2 punch card, and I'm going to move Cyclops here, and he's going to do 2 punch and take out 2 of these guys. And now we're on our way with this thug track. And we're clearing out some of those thugs so that they won't overflow. Because I imagine Sabertooth is going to be summoning a lot of thugs. One thing I'm going to check real quick is missions, you know. Completing missions. Missions can be completed in any order. Once all the slots on a mission card are filled, it's complete. Remove its card. Necessary to move the remaining missions. Oh, and they slide over. Right. Okay. So if I complete this one will slide over. So I'll get he'll get enraged, and he'll act after every 2 cards instead of every 3 cards like he is right now. But I'll be closer to being able to defeat him. So there's some value in trying to close these at the same time so that he becomes vulnerable, and then you can start blasting him. That's it for Cyclops, and now it's Wolverine's turn. Wolverine's got healing factor. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, if you have less than 3 cards in hand at the end of a villain turn, you may draw 1 card. That is really, really powerful, but it doesn't quite get me what I need. And this is an interesting scenario because Wolverine is going to benefit from the 2 punch from Cyclops, but he doesn't benefit from any movement, which means that it's actually kind of a wasted opportunity, and his best bet is to play healing factor. Because he can't hit Sabertooth, so all he can do is do 1 damage and take out the guy that was there, and then he can place a special, he can use a heroic action to start clearing this location out. And that's a round, and that's how the game plays, basically. So next up, you just draw another, oh, you know what, I forgot to do one thing with both of them, though. They're supposed to draw a card. They should all have 3 cards. Which might have changed. Yeah, see, that would actually change what I was going to do with him, but it's fine. I'm fine with it. Fine, I say. If anyone knows that quote, let me know. Okay, so now it goes back to Sabertooth's turn. So he pulls this card. Damn, he gets another ban. So he moves to the location with the hunted hero again. So he's moving here. And let's look, there's an order of operations to this. So you go move, bam, special effect, add the indicated tokens, and then resolve an overflow effect if it triggers. Okay, so move to the location with the hunted hero, bam, deal 2 damage to 1 hero in Sabertooth's location, must be the hunted hero. Beast loses 2 cards, go back under his deck. He does still have regenerating factor though. And so he's gonna hold on to that. But he's down to just 1 health, which is not awesome. And then we got some civilians coming out, which actually is awesome. And no overflow that I see. And there's no target symbol on this spot, so he doesn't get any kind of extra action, and that is it for Sabertooth's turn. So now Beast draws a card, and he has 2 cards remaining. He is going to, now see, this is where it gets tricky, because if he plays both of his regenerating factors this early, he won't have, I mean, I don't know how many he has in this deck, but that would be quite a bit right up front. And so I'm gonna hold on to that, and I'm just gonna play this special. Now I just wanna make sure, rescue 1 civilian. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that Sabertooth being there has anything to do with rescuing civilians, so he's gonna use his specials to rescue these civilians. And remember, he's getting Wolverines as well, that's why he has 2. And that's his whole turn. Cyclops draws. Now we got something. Okay, punch in both adjacent locations. Where is Cyclops? Not currently valuable. Don't think that's super valuable. Cyclops needs to get a movement out there. So you can see this is where the team dynamic comes in, and it reminds me a lot of the Turtles game that I love, which I actually ironically just bought. I just bought an all-in pledge for that off of Simon, or off of Miniature Market. I already have both of the core sets, but I wanted to get all the other stuff, so I bought another pledge. But that game also has a very similar vibe of real teamwork. Like, if I don't think about what I need Wolverine to do, it just means I have to make different choices. Like, Cyclops, if I decide to play something like this, 2 specials, that could be super useful because that would clear this location. but it won't help Wolverine if I don't also play a movement for him. It won't help him get out of that location, at least. Maybe I don't want to. But as I'm looking at Wolverine's current cards, he's got 2 punches and a move. So if he doesn't get a movement from Cyclops, then, and he doesn't pull a useful card, then he won't be able to do anything other than clear the location, which is a pretty significant action. Yeah, I'm going to do that actually, because Cyclops is going to get 2. And he's going to get 1 from the Beast as well. I should probably put it out to where it belongs. Which means he's going to get 3, which means he's going to clear this location. No place to hide. This goes away. And now, at the end of turn, he gets a benefit. At the end of turn, you may gain a move, a heroic action, or punch token. That's a really powerful one. And so you see 3, 1, 2, 3. That's where I got that from. So, end of turn. I think Cyclops is going to start stacking damage. I would love to see him come into the Sabertooth fight with like 5 or 6 punch tokens ready to go. And just annihilate. Just annihilate Sabertooth. That would be very choice. That's it for Cyclops' turn. Now I got Wolverine, and we can see he got lucky. He got a move and a punch, which is super valuable, because what he's going to do is he's going to play this card. He is going to spend the 2 special from Cyclops to clear this, and you know, I'm just not taking the time to bloop. And when you clear threats, they come down here and they start clearing that. And if you get the 2 cards in front of it cleared, then each hero immediately draws 1 card as a bonus reward. And then he's got a movement and a punch. But I need to look at what the end of turn ability is for that space. For the Sentinel Space Station, you may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to swap a card from your hand with one of your face-up cards in the storyline. You may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to swap a card from your hand. So basically, you take a damage to get a card back. That is a really powerful ability for someone like Beast, who is currently being hunted. I don't have to be as careful about my regenerative factor. I'm not gonna save it for, or I'm not gonna stay here for Wolverine. I want him to move and then attack, but that is super useful. My question is, where should he go? And this is where you have to start thinking about, assuming Sabretooth pulls another BAM, which I'm assuming he's gonna attack a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if all of his cards have BAMs on them, which would be real bad because he'll kill Beast in 1 turn. Let's see. If the, oh, no, yes, okay. Did I miss this? Yeah, I think I missed this. Beast should actually be KO'd. He should have been KO'd on his turn, I believe. Because he's in the space. If the hunted hero ends their turn in this location, they take 1 damage. And he would have taken 1 damage. I'm gonna mulligan that just for the sake of the gameplay, but we'll play with that rule going forward. So, what I was saying was, I want to make sure Wolverine's not moving into a trap. He's gonna move. He is actually gonna move here, and he's gonna spend his punch on a villain, because this card, if it triggers, will do a damage to heroes in adjacent locations, and then he can tank that hit for Beast, who should technically already be dead. Maybe you know what I'll do? I'll pay a penance. I'll take away my punch as as penance for that. I don't want to go back, but I will punish myself a little bit for that. All right, so that's it for Wolverine. So now it goes back to Sabertooth. You bastard, Sabertooth. See, he's got another freaking bam. Move to the next clockwise location with any heroes. So he'll go, and then he bams. Deal 2 damage to one hero in Sabertooth's location. This must be the hunted hero if they are in that location. Okay, so he does 2 damage to Cyclops. So Cyclops is going to give up. He's going to give up. Damn, he's got all the special cards in his hand. He's going to give up his specials and keep his attack for now. And then Sabertooth is adding a civilian here, which overflows, and 2 here. And now we should look at overflow. Whenever one or more thug civilian tokens can't be added, a single overflow effect is triggered. Check the effect's description, blah, blah, blah. So overflow, if one or more tokens can't be added to a location, deal 1 damage to the hunted hero. So Beast takes a damage and he dies anyways. So he's KO'd. Now, KO. KO'd if you discard the last card in hand, lay the hero down, and the BAM activates again. Wow. Deal 2 damage to one hero in Sabertooth's space, which also KOs. Is that? I'm going to double check that because that seems like it could be very punishing. If a hero discards the last card from their hand, they are immediately KO'd. Lay down that hero's game piece to indicate it must be ignored by all game effects, both negative or positive. Then immediately resolve the BAM effect listed on the villain dashboard. This could cause another hero to be KO'd, creating a chain reaction. Yeah. Okay. So he triggers his BAM again, deals 2 damage to Cyclops, which KOs him. Which triggers his BAM again. But it doesn't do anything because Wolverine's not in his location. So I believe what happens is they skip a turn? Or do they? Or is that it? I mean, that's a pretty brutal... Yeah, at the start of their next turn, their piece is placed back upright, and they draw their 4 cards. Okay. Whew, that was brutal. And that was triggering off of Sabertooth's turn. So now Beast stands back up. Oh, and Sabertooth has a special effect related to KO. Whenever a hero without the hunted token, when a hero without the 100, wait, what the fuck? Hold on. When 100 heroes KO'd before activating BAM, give the hunted token to the next hero in the play order. When a hero without the hunted token is KO'd, draw another master plan card and add it face down the storyline. Luckily, I missed that, but Wolverine is now targeted, which may have been Sabertooth's master plan all along. Wolverine! Everybody remembers the cartoon. I'd heard you gone soft. Guess I heard right. Oh man. Okay, you son of a bitch, Sabertooth. God damn it. Anyways, Beast stands back up. He gets 4 cards. If you're wondering, the sleeves, I don't always sleeve my games. These cards in particular are very thin, and cards are prone to warping, and I've, you know, it's never like bleh, but it's bad enough that they don't sit flat, and it drives me fucking crazy. And so I decided to head that off. The heroes lose if the hunted token is given back to the starting hero. So if Wolverine gets KO'd, I lose. Wow, that is fucking brutal. Jesus, this game is hard. So the Beast has a punch and a movement. And I'm like nowhere near being able to help anybody out or whatnot. I also got to get Wolverine out of this space, and I can't take him to that space because they are stacking up. So what do I want the Beast to do? Genius Intelligence. This turn you can treat specials as wilds. That's really powerful. I don't need that right now. He could do just a movement and a punch, and he can actually do 2 movement. So he could get to here or here. Or there. That wouldn't, the punch wouldn't do any good. He's got 2 stars. So we could rescue 2 civilians there. That would be useful. I think that's probably what he's going to do. Yeah. Because I have no idea what Cyclops has. I'll do something that's like generic, useful. Alright, so Beast is going to move here. He's going to do a punch. Got one of these bad boys. And then he's going to rescue these 2 civilians. These are a real problem. The overflow is brutal. 1 damage is a lot of damage. So I got to figure something out about that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's check the old camera, make sure it's still... working. Cyclops stands back up. Okay, so he's got the potential for a lot of specials, but he doesn't have any movement right now. And he's got to move to really make use of those. So he's going to move here. Rescue these 2 civilians. Damn, I had such beautiful dreams for him. He was going to stack up a bunch of attack cards and nuke Sabertooth, and that's just not going to happen. I'm also forgetting to draw my cards, although they were both KO'd, so that's fine. Wolverine gets a turn. So Wolverine's got a movement. He's the hunted hero, so he doesn't want to end there. I think he wants to move there, honestly. If I could get 2 specials out of him, it would be even better. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. He's only got 1 special. There's really nobody to thrash right now, and he's something with thrashers. So he's just going to have to play this. Move here and clear this. And then he gains the benefit. You may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to swap a card from your hand with one of your face-up cards on the storyline. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I also need to remember that he has his healing factor. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, if you have less than 3 cards in hand at the end of the villain turn, you may draw 1 card. That's probably going to be useful because this guy is absolutely destroying me. All right, Sabertooth's turn. Jesus, another fucking BAM! Hunter's senses. Move to the location with the hunted hero. BAM. Which does 2 damage to Wolverine. So he loses 2 cards. I know that he's putting out a lot of bad guys, so I'm going to give up the 2 cards that have singles on them. And then he puts out those bad guys. Jam boys. But hey, at least we made it through a turn without him completely annihilating us. Draw a card for the beast. Now the beast has a movement and a special right now. This is a real problem over here. I'm surprised the beast doesn't have any multiple movement cards. You would think he would have like 2 movement or the ability to, I guess, not jump across the earth, but this turn you can treat specials as wilds. That could be useful. Or just get them moving a punch, double move, and special. Tough call. Special really isn't of any value from Wolverine, which is actually a reason to play Genius Intelligence, so that he can move and then do 2 of these. Boy, these plastic tokens really pop. Nice looking. Okay. Back to Cyclops. This card. Ooh, double wilds. That's powerful. We're getting close to actually being able to hurt this son of a bitch. So there's no time left to fuck around. We gotta seize that advantage. Optic Blast lets him do an attack in both adjacent locations and a punch in his location. That doesn't do him any good because he can't move. So I'm going to disregard that one. 2 specials, 3 specials. He could clear this location out, but that doesn't really do him any good either. Or he could use it to get... No, he doesn't get to benefit from that. 2 wilds. I think he's going to play his double wilds, which is going to be really powerful for Wolverine as well. Probably a good call. And with his double wilds, he is going to... He's going to use his special here to clear that out. He's going to use a wild to move. And then he's going to use... Oh, if I do that, he'll start activating every 2 turns. Fuck. But I will get an attack token too. That's the only chance I have. Question is, when does that actually take place? I'm assuming it takes place like right now. Yeah. All right, so I defeated the thugs. Pull this out. Let's go there. That goes away. This slides down, making it Sabertooth's turn, which is very, very unfortunate. And Scott gets the punch token, which I pray he will be able to use to destroy Sabretooth. Another fucking BAM. How many goddamn BAMs does this son of a bitch have? Move to the location with the hunted hero, which he's already in. He kills Wolverine. Game over. So, Sabertooth wins. That motherfucker. Jesus, those BAMs. Because he wins because he KOs Wolverine, which would move it back to Beast, and that is the trigger for the end game. So, first round goes to Sabertooth. Let's just see. Does every single card he has... Yeah, all his cards have BAMs. That's all he does is attack. He's got one card that doesn't have a BAM on it. Maybe 2. And it's regenerative factor. As soon as this card is face up in the storyline, Sabertooth recovers 1 health at the end of his turn. Wow. Brutal. Okay, that was a really tough fight. I hope you enjoyed that. Boy, he got us. That crafty son of a bitch Sabertooth. I think what I'll do is switch out the heroes and get another gameplay session filmed here, and we're going to keep going at Sabertooth. Maybe I should put those wild cards back in, although I don't think so. That'll make it too easy. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it gave you a feel for what the game, how the game plays and whatnot. It's pretty cool. The team aspect and the AI that they can build into the villains through a pretty simplistic rule set are kind of the real standouts here. It's very light and plays quick. It's got a lot of theme and some truly awesome miniatures. I think I'm going to do these miniatures. I'm not going to paint them fully because who has time, but I bought some speed paints, which I might as well show off because they happen to be in my pocket. I bought Hybdol purple for the anti-heroes, Blood Red, oh boy, talk about appropriate, for the villains, and Magic Blue for the heroes. And so I'm going to spray these guys white, and then I'm going to throw this stuff on them and see how it looks. Hopefully it looks good. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. There'll be more to come because this gameplay is quick, and I'm really interested in exploring the X mythos. Maybe I'll bring Professor Xavier along. I feel like I had a lot of direct attack in this deck and not a lot of kind of manipulation, and maybe that manipulation is exactly what is needed against Sabertooth, which would be really thematic because it's Sabertooth. So of course going straight at him is not always the best solution because he's really tough. So keep an eye out for that next gameplay, and I will talk to you later.